Good day, everyone. I'm Janine Tergasa Watan. Together with my partner, Miss Jessamine Ibanez, our assigned topic is all about computer software for information system. So first, let us discuss what is information system. Information system is a system that builds both hardware and software. And the second is the programs are essential for system operation, providing stepwise instructions to computers. So, nag-compose ang usa ka system og hardware and software. So, ang hardware is nag-include siya og mga monitor, keyboard, printer, anything the physical part of a computer. While ang software is a web browser or a Microsoft Windows is the data or programs used to operate the computer and execute the specific task that run on a device. So, next is the programming language. So, what do you mean by programming language? So, are programs that write software using a special languages. So, ang programming language is nag-write siya about mga different kinds of language like mga binary, mga daghan pa kaayo. Then, so we have two programming languages. First is the procedural language, a language which explains stepwise sequential explanation to accomplish a given task. So there is a step-by-step approach to solve the problems. Users has to specify what to do and also how to do. So in short, ang procedural is na siya step by step nga pamaagi para kuan nimo ma-accomplish nimo ang imong button. Well, the second is then procedural language focuses on what needs to be done without specifying exactly how should be done. So, so the user has defined only ang angay buhaton. Wala siya nag-include og unsaon pagbuhat ang exact lang ang iya. So the next is we have four generation of language. First, the first generation language or a machine language. Number two is a second generation language or the assemblers. The third generation language or the 3GLs. And the fourth generation language is the fourth generation language. So let us define and explain each generation language. First, generation languages or a machine language. The early computers were programmed in machine language or the first generation language. It is a series of zeros and ones. Then the CPUs can interpret and execute. The program is written in a programmer's language and is translated into a machine. So, language before it is run. So, for example, ani sa ubos. So, we have 0000100. Ang example dyan aning machine language is a binary code na nag-include siya na sa definition. Nag-include siya 0 and 1 to para ma-read sa usa ka computer nga na ang code niya. The second generation language or the assemblers use mnemonic names for operation and symbolic names of data. The assembly language programs are to be lengthy and were difficult for programmers to read. So, for example, is kanang mga multiplication, addition. So na sila gamit nga kanang word ra nga para mahinumduman para addition. It only add, while ang subtraction sub lang para mas dali siya nara siya code nga automatic na kasi nga mo na addition, mo na sub for subtraction, addition for add, ana siya. Then the third generation language are procedural in nature, can produce multiple object program instruction from a signal source. For example, by the way, the third generation language, it means that programmers have to produce fewer license of code in addition. The third language are procedural in nature. For example, we want to find the average age of a class. So we need to know the procedures involved. So ang atong kanon is we need to add every person age in a class. Then the next is we then need to divide the sum of every person's age by the number of people in the class. So then the result is the average age of the class. So the main reason of creating this 3G else was to be able to reuse blocks or codes blocks. They just continue to evolve, and now we have plenty of languages that you and I love today, like Java's, the C++, and the C Sharp platform. So the fourth generation language is our non-procedural language. Fourth generation language was developed in the 1970s to overcome the demands of the procedural programming language, allow the programmer and user to instruct the computer in what to do rather than how to do it. So that's it. Nga na gyud na ang procedural. Then for example, we want to find the average age for a class. So we need to enter the command. So na siya command. So the procedures are built into commands. So this end result is still the creation of machine language files. So we have some examples of four generation languages. The first is the database query language. It is shown here how a manager can use a database query language that provides a special report from database contents without the need to code a program. For example, is a focus. So the second is the modeling language. It's a special design to make the building of mathematical models easier than when a problem-oriented language is used. So one of the first modeling language was the GPSS, or the General Purpose Simulation System. The third is a very high level language, often used to describe a programming language such as APL that offers succinctness and power over and above that of conventional language. The next is the graph generators. A graph generators is also called a graphic package, is used to display or print data in variety of graphical forms. Yes, for example, ana is mga kanang organizational chart na siya mga graphics nga nag-include para more siya ana. Then The next is the report writes. Report write is specially designed to prepare reports. So, sabotable kaayo. Then the application generators. An application generators produces an applications program such as inventory or payroll without programming. So example ana is ta katong Mantis and Mark V. So so some popular third and fourth generation programming language are, so natay mga popular generation language sa third and fourth. So first is a basic, an acronym for beginners all-purpose symbolic instruction code. The second, program developed at Dartmouth College in 1964 by John Kemney and Thomas Quart. So, ang basic is nag-interpreted siya. It means kanang mo siya translator siya. While the next is a Fortan, acronym for Formulation Translation. The program was developed by IBM in the mid 1950s. So when we say Fortan, it is a compiled programming language na nag-generate from machine code to some data. While ang by the way, ang Fortan day is kana siya, murag muna siya basic or kanang ning evolve na basic na siya. Parehara ni siya pero ang Fortan is kanang new or let's say upgrade sa basic. So many examples sa basic and the Fortan. So see. The next is the COBOL and the Pascal. Acronym for Common Business-Oriented Language. The program was developed at the Pentagon in 1959, the product of a joint effort by the federal government and the computer industry. So, while the Pascal, it is developed by Nicolaus Wirth of the Federal Institution of Technology in Zurich, Switzerland in 1968. Pascal is a widely used for business and scientific application. So, natin example sa kuan Pascal. Program example ay var, A, B integrate. Pare-pareha ra gyud siya. So, the next is the C language. C is a general purpose language. It is also called C because it was improvement over another language called B that was developed at AT&T Bell Labs in early 1970s. C was developed by Brian Kernighan and Dennis Ritchie. It is closely associated with the Unix system. Since the language was developed on Unix, in a short time, C has become an extremely popular language and is now widely used in system development application and for commercial users. So, the next, morning ang example sa C language. Na si struct to. So, next is the object-oriented program. So, unsa din yung object-oriented program? So, it also an abbreviations of OOP. It's also a programming language to enhance the productivity of a program and reduces software development time. So, a significant benefit of OOP is code reusability. Also, OOP reduces amount of testing required. OOP software is easier to update because some aspect of an object have been often to be modified. So, para siya ang kanang software. And that's all about my topic, and to be continued to Miss Jessamine Ibanez.